Hey folks, what's going on tonight? What's up, Satellite? Zem, Mizroy, Lodra High, Amerikansky, Shadows, Manic. Hi everybody, happy Saturday. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing lovely. I've had a nice, relaxing day. Ferried my kids around to some activities, made some dinner, rather tasty dinner, if I do say so myself. Was productive in parts and also relaxed a fair bit. So yeah, it was a good day. It was a quite good day. I had considered getting to some more of the demos that I picked out and some of the ones that y'all picked out that I didn't play last night. But no, I just played Grim Dawn. I did something in Grim Dawn I was really happy about, though. On a lark, I went back to one of my old characters. One that I made, like, years ago. And I successfully rehabbed them. I undid all their skills, all their attributes, all their devotions, all their equipment, and I redid everything. From my massive stores of resources, and they are so much better now. I took them out into like a regular area before doing this, and they were kind of struggling, and I reworked all their stuff and went back to the same area and just like flew through it, just super smooth. So I was really happy about that. So I'm gonna finish another character in Grim Dawn. This one's a pet character. It's my Kabbalist. They do skeletons and hellhounds and ravens and stuff. They're the only pet class I played in Grim Dawn, and pet classes, I might not be great at them. It might not be a super good build, but my impression is that pet classes are really good for like the normal stuff, but when you get to like the really scary super bosses and stuff, the problem with pet classes is when your pets die, you also die. Because then there's nothing standing in between your squishy self and the giant slavering super boss. So yeah, I was wondering why this particular character had died like 73 times. And then I got caught by a nemesis, and I was like, oh, okay. What's up, Lorenzo Spiso? Good to see you. So working on Ni no Kuni, made some huge progress last night since I locked about being able to catch monsters and alchemy. Wow. So there's Pokemoning and alchemy. That's cool. Able to collect a whole mess of BPRD traits for cheap. Ooh, I want to do that. I still have a whole bunch of like collected graphic novels on my shelf that I want to finish. Like, I have so many series that I started and never finished. And Hellboy / BPRD is one of them. Hang on. I have 7 volumes of Hellboy and only 2 of BPRD. So, unfortunately, I'm in that awkward place where if they still do reprints of them, they're probably in a different style from the ones that I have, and I hate that. I wonder if it'd be really hard to track down the ones that would actually match. Like, I'm really happy, like, my editions of Sandman and Bone are all in the same style. But yeah. Jump back into Absalom tonight. Final boss kills you on a magic pixel. I'm pretty sure I heard him die to a dot as my death animation played. Immediately unlocked an extra life after. Pretty funny. Spend the day boiling some peanuts, working on my Warhammer Fantasy TTRPG. That sounds like fun. Don't like his alchemy as much as DQ8's. Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think it's much more common for alchemy systems in games to just eat your stuff if you're experimenting. I have 1 through 8, and then 10 through 12 of BPRD. Yeah. I have that situation with I forget where they are. Lone Wolf and Cub. I was collecting volumes of Lone Wolf and Cub for a while, and I got most of them, but I'm missing, like, I think 5 out of the run of, like, I don't know, 30 or something. But they're kind of scattered around. And also I'm missing the ending, so... Besides, Aisha has been an alchemy system is all necessary to beat the game. I think you'd have a real bad time in Secret of Evermore if you tried to get through without alchemy. Funny you should mention it. True, but it does make me a bit less likely to experiment in the same way with making up random shit. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I think it's like... To me, it's like a balance of availability of resources versus the opportunity and cost of experimenting, you know? If it's real easy to get materials, if it's just, like, overflowing in your inventory, then, like, who cares if you're just mashing stuff together? But, like, if there's a lot of rare components and you know they make good stuff, but you're also wondering what else they make, that's probably gonna lock you out of screwing with them too much. I don't think Hellboy and BPRD covers change really. Once I'm employed again, I might look back into that. I think that'd be a nice thing to do. Finish some of these collected graphic novels. It'd be kind of fun to go back through them. Nostalgia notwithstanding. But yeah. Yeah. I'm still really happy about how last night went, chat. I was thinking about that quite a bit today. All the cool stuff that we played last night. Like I went after the stream and I put like 6 things on my wish list. I don't normally do that after we do a Next Fest wheel. I might put 1 or 2 up there. But yeah, this time it was like, everything is good. Should read more Hellboy, see the libraries and collections. I love Hellboy. Hellboy's vibe is just immaculate. It's not, I don't think it's my favorite graphic novel, but it might have my favorite vibe. I just love how stark and somber it is, juxtaposed with how snarky Hellboy and his compatriots are. Last night was, I think, the most successful variety stream in terms of good game quotient. I think you're right, because there genuinely wasn't anything bad last night. Yeah, the worst game was Evil Egg, and Evil Egg was good. Like, I thought it was a good game. So there were literally no bad games last night. Goose Game, your mileage may vary on that. Worked for me. Don't know if it'll work for you. Did you quite cool side quests? Some ghost was looking for candy. It was lost to time you had to make. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty neat thing to do. Until fight breaks down, it's a huge splash of color. Goose was like good bad. Goose was like, can you mentally handle this? Are your brain meats supple enough to accept this wholesale? Big question. But yeah. Chat, you know what? I think we should get to it. I think we should get going. Like I said, today wasn't super eventful for me. I mainly just played Grim Dawn and did chores and stuff. It was a pleasing day. But I've been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to reading through some Nintendo Power with y'all, talking about some games, and seeing how far we can get tonight. Because after this issue, there's another issue. And then we can see other games like that, and we can progress through ancient history. Because one of the games I'm glad it exists, and I will never play it. Oh, Nemrin, you might have missed it. You were one of the joint winners last night, so you have notched another democratic playthrough request. You actually have 2 now. Don't spend them all in one place. But yeah, you might as well start thinking about how you want to use those. Get through enough issues, eventually the Virtual Boy will stop existing. Exactly. Exactly. I know there are more Virtual Boy games in this here issue. We saw them in the table of contents. So I'm also thinking, chat. I am also thinking, since we had such a good time with that random NES request night, I may start sticking open request nights in between issues of Nintendo Power. You know, if we're zooming through these things, we don't necessarily, well, whether we're zooming through them or if we're laboring through like weeks and months on the same issue, I don't think it hurts anything to have like a one night break in between issues and give y'all a chance to just put up whatever you want within a certain subset of games. Goose seemed really well for what was done. I like how deadpan its body horror is. Yeah, no, you make a really good point. The fact that it's presenting all this stuff is very matter of fact and everybody's like super cool with it, I think that really does a lot for it. Was there couldn't chat because connection issues while I was watching? Well, good, and congratulations, good job on your pick there. I'm super excited about that game. Alabaster Dawn, like I'm gonna be looking forward to that one. Hopefully for not too long, but yeah. We probably should limit the stuff to always show up in the page of Nintendo Power, but maybe not. We'll see. Like we did NES games. Next time I may do, well, I mean, I could do anything really. I could do SNES games. We could jump ahead and do like GBA stuff, or get weird and specific and do like GBC, or yeah. Go further afield, maybe make some dreams come true, let y'all request some stuff off like the Genesis or something. Just has to be console related. Thursdays and Saturdays are like retro console nights. As long as we stay within that purview, we should be good. So. But just Game & Watch releases. Wario Land 3's day will come. Alright, let me talk about the schedule. Let me remind you of the very vague schedule, and then we'll get rolling. Tonight, of course, the Power Hours. Tomorrow night is, of course, nothing, because I never stream on Sunday. Monday is Wildcard Night. I'm not committing to any full playthroughs for the foreseeable future on Mondays, Tuesdays, or Wednesdays. So if you're wondering what we're doing on Monday, so am I. You're just gonna have to show up and find out. I've been rolling around a bunch of very diverse possibilities. There's a number of indie games I've been considering. There's some retro games I was thinking about revisiting. There are, I'm sure this will shock you to hear, and even an RPG or two that I'm considering starting, with the caveat that I may just dip out of it if it's not working for me. So yeah, we'll see. Monday could be literally anything. Could be literally anything. Game & Watch Gallery count? I love some Game & Watch Gallery. If I ever do a Game & Watch night, I mean, we'll have to talk about it, I guess. It's good. Alright, let's talk about Secret Evermore, as if we haven't talked this game to death already. First of all, chat, welcome back to October of 1995. A whole 30 years ago, we were on pins and needles waiting for the advent of Secret of Evermore. What potential this had? What excitement I had for this game. Another game in the vein of Secret of Mana, but Western developed. Totally different sensibilities. whole like sci-fi fantasy mashup. What could it be? What would it be like? And the answer was pretty janky. Really cool, really atmospheric, really moody, really creative, and really janky. So yeah, I'll never, like, Secret of Evermore is never gonna make it onto one of my lists of favorite SNES games, but I do love it. I do have a deep and abiding appreciation for it. It tries to do a lot of interesting stuff, and you know, it's easier to appreciate what they accomplished when you understand how troubled its development was. I mean, it's a shame that its development was troubled at all. I don't think it needed to be. I think there was some elements of mismanagement and high-level interference going on. So, if anything, it's a miracle what we got was as good as it was. But it is a shame it couldn't be more. It's a shame that its vision couldn't be fully realized. But I mean, you could say the same thing about Secret of Mana too. That game is very clearly, obviously incomplete. So, but I mean, there's so many games in history that we've just had to make do with what we've got, and they're still perfectly good. 8 or 9 out of 10 games as opposed to 10 out of 10 games, which don't exist. Might be a big factor in why they don't exist, but sometimes taking what you can get isn't all that bad, really. Time traveling game on the SNES by Square. Clearly, this will also be Chrono Trigger. It's not actually time traveling, because the whole like Evermore itself. The weird thing about this game, the concept is that Evermore is basically a virtual world. Yeah, let's read through this and talk about the actual nature of this place, so I can be sure that I'm not talking entirely out of my ass here. Hollywood daydreams become a waking nightmare when a boy and his dog pass through the portals of Evermore. Explore the 4 make-believe worlds made real by Professor Ruffleberg and his friends in this Squaresoft adventure. Although not a sequel to Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore looks like it came from the same classic mold. It's not a game you can afford to miss. Although Epic Center begins coverage this month, Evermore probably won't appear in stores until November. I don't remember exactly when it came out. Isekai? Can't be Isekai, there's no truck. Can you be isekai'd by a Tesla coil? I guess not. I guess it has to be a truck, doesn't it? Ah, well, nevertheless. B-movie isekai. Alright, so, the plot hook. 30 years ago, Professor Sidney Ruffleberg sparked Evermore into existence in his hilltop mansion above the sleepy town of Podunk. But just as the incredible experiment began, something went horribly wrong, and the 4 dreamers who had seen their imagined worlds become reality suddenly became trapped in those worlds themselves. Their utopian dreams became nightmares, and the mansion and secret lab remained a dark enigma for decades. Then, a boy wandering home after watching a matinee at the bayou stumbled upon a lab. His dog chewed on a wire device zapped them way to Omnitopia. There, briefly, the boy met Professor Sid and his butler Carltron. Moments later, he found himself facing 2 attacking robots, and the bottom dropped out completely, plunged an escape pod toward the dinosaur-infested jungles of Prehistoria, the first of the imagined world. So yeah, the planet. So I always like the key art, the concept art for Evermore itself, a planet ringed by like a massive space station. Though it doesn't really feel like that in the game. I do really like the concept of it. The planet, it consists of 3 areas. What was it? Prehistoria. What's the... Oh. Yeah, Prehistoria, Antiquia, and Gothica. And then Omnitopia is the orbiting station. Apparently a lot of the staff behind this moved on to Humongous Entertainment. That's cool. Watching an anime the other day where they simply did not establish how they got isekai'd. The guy was watching TV and the next scene he was talking with God. Make a real big deal out of the B-movies thing. The protagonist has like 3 lines about it in the first 2 hours, and that's it. Yeah. 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 What's up, Fury? Good to see you. See his plant surrounded by a space station. You ever get to try Yes, I played a lot of Dyson Sphere. Dyson Sphere program. Let me see here real quick. How much time do I have in that? I have 32 hours in Dyson Sphere program, which included a couple false starts, and then at least a 20-hour playthrough where I got to like Dyson Swarm. I got to the point where I was launching satellite to collect energy off the sun, and I had set up production chains on multiple planets at that point. So, but it also got kind of like overwhelming, and at the same time I realized how terribly unoptimized my research output was, so I burned out a bit on it, but I'm definitely gonna go back to it sometime. I might even stream it eventually. I keep threatening to stream one of these production chain games, Satisfactory or Dyson Sphere Program or God Help Me Factorio, and I just haven't yet. Apparently the design producer worked on the Star Tropics series. Oh yeah, that does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? Does make a lot of sense. Kerbal Space Program 2, Kerbal Dyson Sphere. Poor Kerbal Space Program, man. What a tragedy that ended up being. A lot of the others worked on MechWarrior 3 after this. I'm definitely, I really like it, Fury. Like, I really, really like it, but it's one of those games that takes, like full-throated investment. Like, you really, really gotta be ready to, like, buckle down and work out your production chains and stuff. Because, like, you can mass-produce everything in that game. Like, not like, you're not just refining resources and combining them into other resources. Like, you can also mass produce the buildings and the conveyor belts and the logistics stuff. It gets absolutely crazy. Did a dumb thing you did with the Pokemon camera in game. Forgot I did the stupid thing. It popped up. Space Station themed games, not Space Sim, where you, when you get the N64. Oh, Space Station Silicon Valley. Yeah, I've heard of that. The Kerbals all get sick or something. No, they botched the launch of Kerbal Space Program 2 so bad, it basically got canceled. Like, go look up KSP2 on Steam right now. It got torched to the ground. So, just a huge misstep. They made some terrible business decisions there. Didn't the devs get further screwed by Take-Two? You know, I watched a video on it a couple weeks back. Because I think that was around the time the final nail had been put in that particular coffin. And yeah, I think it was a combination of like the original devs getting like squeezed out of the project, and then the people they brought in to work on it. Yeah, the original devs parted ways. The rights holders brought in new developers to work on it. The new developers went wildly out of scope, and then the publisher tried to claw them back and have them release something that was pretty clearly unfinished. And they couldn't recover from that, unfortunately. So, rip to a real one. At least we still have Kerbal Space Program 1, which to this day I still haven't played. I own it, and I still haven't played it. That's the kind of degenerate that I am. But yeah. Maybe someday. Probably someday. Alright. Secret of Evermore, though. All right, yeah. So the different worlds: Prehistoria, conceived by Elizabeth, who loved her 20th century image of Barney-like dinosaurs. If you weren't there, chat, I think most of you were, but if you weren't there, you cannot understand how pervasive Barney was in the cultural zeitgeist in the 90s. Like Barney was hugely successful for young children. He was like the new Sesame Street. But like everyone aged out of the target demographic and their parents hated it. Were just utterly repulsed by the existence of Barney. Cuz he was like, you know, when you think about it, Barney was like the living antithesis of like the 90s extreme angle. He was kind and loving and understanding and inviting and soft and dopey. He was everything that the 90s weren't. So, in retrospect, I totally understand the backlash against him, and it's a shame because, in truth, he was exactly what we needed at the time. And I hope young children of the generation did benefit from it. Oh yeah, Barney had a huge hate-dom. Yeah. Obviously it cooled over time. But yeah, in the 90s, that was the thing to do, was like hate on Barney, make fun of Barney, and even a fairly middle of the road publication like Nintendo Power is out here taking cheap shots at Barney because they know it'll get them cool points. Probably draw a direct link between the irrational hatred towards Barney and the shitheads that gatekeep fandoms. You know, you're probably right. You're probably right. That kind of festering hate probably started there. Parodies of the theme song and everything. Yeah. Well, I was as guilty as anybody. I thought I was a big dumb idiot. Only in the wisdom of old age have I recanted and understood the cultural importance of Barney. But too little, too late, chat. These renders are pretty cool. I do want to say one thing. Something I've been thinking about for a while. Yeah, these dinosaurs are not like Barney at all. Nintendo Power has a strong screenshot game. They always have. They've always been pretty good about finding representative screenshots to get readers interested in their games and such. However, they're not always hitting with that. And I feel like occasionally you get a game come through Nintendo Power where the screenshots just don't give a very good impression of it. Like they're unclear or they're poorly chosen. And I feel like that's kind of the case with Secret of Evermore here. Like, take this one here. It's the kid standing around with a sword and a number and then this. Now, I've played Secret of Evermore, so I know that this is the aftermath of defeating an enemy. That's the big puff of smoke you get when certain enemies, like, vaporize, essentially. But this screenshot, I mean, it's dark. It's very dark. You cannot see anything in the background. Like, it is no brighter for me than it is for you all. It is way too dark. Same with these menu screenshots, like, it's cool that they're showing off the alchemy system, but like the saturation here is just too dark, and it makes the game look really murky and the text hard to read. You're right, Nemrin, you're absolutely right. Evermore is kind of poorly lit, so it's not doing itself any favors. But yeah, I mean, look at this render here compared with like the in-game screenshot. This, I feel like, is a pretty good screenshot. Like, the darkness kind of works in its favor because it makes this thing more mysterious than it is. But yeah. Also, good evening, Hildy. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Portland Hop represent. Breeders submitted this to Arena. They call him out on it. Is there a Portland Frog event going on? I think it's the No Kings thing that was going on today. Folks on the front line against ice have been suiting up as Froggos. Yep. Protesters in Portland start wearing inflatable suits. I love those videos too. It's great. Frogs stronger together. City is so cool. Portland is a cool city. All right. This is an impressive number. More than 500,000 players explored Secret of Mana last year, making it second only to The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past in the adventure category. Now, Secret of Evermore adds to the mix of real-time action and character growth that characterize Mana with a touch of storytelling and humor that are uniquely American. Mechanics of this game, like the use of menu rings and power meters, work the same as they did in Mana. The fact that mankind has sought the secrets of alchemy for 1,000 years and failed to find anything should in no way discourage you. By combining various amounts of ingredients such as wax and oil, you can create formulas that produce useful effects. You must learn the formulas for an alchemist and possess the right amounts of ingredients first. Select your formula by activating the alchemy ring and pushing down. That's a weird way to put that, but okay. I like the alchemy system. I think it could have been better balanced. I think it could have been expanded on a bit, but I do ultimately like it. I think it's pretty cool. Make the 14-year-olds running the government accounts now very mad, so they should keep doing it. Best possible response to fight the lies coming from the White House. Portland is in flames. The people in the frog suits seem fine. Yes. Yeah, it's a perfect way to exemplify how absurd they're being about it. Some of the dialogue screenshots also come off as more weird than interesting. If you haven't played this mode, if you're really my dog, you'll fetch this stick mean. Yeah. Yep, that's a good point. Because Nintendo Power is just like, yeah, you got it's a boy and his dog, but then what's all that shit about? You didn't derail anything, Hildy. This chat haven't rails to begin with. Wherever this chat ends up is fine by me. The Dreamers. Enemies in Secret of Evermore range from pesky mosquitoes to throbbing metallic engines of destruction. That's hot. Beyond the inhabited areas like towns and villages, enemies may strike at any moment. Your weapons include swords, axes, spears, and bazookas. Not plural. There's a bazooka. You also use alchemy formulas. Oh yes, and your fearless dog pounces on enemies, baring its fangs. As in Mana, every attack depletes your power meter, and a second or two passes before you can attack at full power again. Next month, we'll start the play-by-play. Okay, so in the next issue of Nintendo Power, they'll start the actual coverage. Beautifully awkward train wreck. I like that. Start watching me eat a small bruise on a banana. Ew. What? Nothing wrong with that. Okay, Chrono Trigger. I am gonna skip over this because, like I said, we are gonna play Chrono Trigger at some point, and we don't need to talk about boss strategies or anything like that. So we roll on. We just like that, chat. We've cleared the Epic Center, and we are on to classified information. I feel like it's pretty clear sailing from here. Let's see how far we can get tonight, chat. It's not even 10 o'clock yet. We're doing good. We're doing real good. What are they talking about tonight? Stage select in Earthworm Jim. I guess that's a pretty good way to get past those shitty stages like the mucus bungee jumping and stuff. Act Razor 2. So you managed to defeat Tanzer and all his demon hordes in both ActRaiser and ActRaiser 2? No. Well, here's a chance to prove your fighting prowess one more time with the special ActRaiser 2 password. Enter XXXXYYYYZZZZ. Password will zip you to special stage face Tanzer in his final forms and his rumor of an even greater threat that follows. Continue code for ActRaiser 2 so you can keep playing, but why would you? That was amazing. We're actually in the issue at 9:30. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot to talk about today because it was a both productive and relaxing day, and I spent my free time playing Grim Dawn, and y'all don't need to hear about Grim Dawn for like an hour. Funny. Why? ZZZZZ could also work as a capsule review of ActRaiser. Grim Dawn is so good, Jig Pappy. I am hopelessly obsessed. It is on track to be my second most played game on Steam. I don't know that it'll ever eclipse Marvel Heroes, but I can't put any more time into Marvel Heroes, so it could at some point. What was I saying about this chat having no rails? No guardrails, no safety rails, nothing. We're just flapping free in the breeze. Stellaris and Deep Rock Galactic are your top two. I'll go back to Stellaris at some point. I got a little scared off with all the 4.0 stuff and the nasty reviews it got from people that were tired of them like doing massive systemic changes to the game. Nothing's even close to Factorio for me. I've had so many people tell me, especially when I was on my Satisfactory bullshit, because I love Satisfactory, and I would go and gush about Satisfactory, and people would just be like, Factorio's better. You need to play Factorio. Factorio's better. Like, but deep in my heart of hearts, I'm a little scared of trying Factorio and getting like super sucked into it. Do not enjoy Factorio as much as Satisfactory. I think there's something about the style of Satisfactory I really like. I think it being 3D and being able to make all kinds of weird like conveyor belt or train monstrosities is really satisfying. I like exploring the alien world. There's so much I like about it, and Factorio doesn't capture all of that. Though I may end up liking its mechanics more, I don't know. Like these games because of the aesthetic building, yeah. Good evening, Evo. Why? We were waiting for you, frankly. I was 800 hours on Factorio. Jesus, Rallenborn. Wow, it's probably the only thing more for me. That's cute, yeah. I like Satisfactory way more than Factorio. Oh, you do, Chaos? I like Satisfactory, but I like exploring it, but not the building. I got really into the building. I started, the last time I played Satisfactory. So, the last time I played Satisfactory, I actually beat the game, finally, at long last. And I did it by building, like, a just giant, ugly, horrible, like, ziggurat of industry. And it was such a mess by the end. Sorry, Hildy, that doesn't work. I'll show you someday, but it won't be tonight. So then I went and I started, no, you listen. I started a second playthrough immediately, which I don't normally do. And I got really big into blueprinting. And I figured out how to make, like, factory modules. What I would do is I would blueprint, like, a vertical module that had, like, a set input and a set output. and I had them where you, like, they would, like, self-align. Like, the inputs were always in the same place and the outputs were always in the same place. So I would just, like, I would load up my inventory with, like, as many resources as I could, go out to, like, a new, like, raw material field, and I could just, like, I could just lay out a factory in, like, minutes with that. It was so satisfying. The blueprinting part is tricky. Like, you're spending extra time to really, really fine-tune your modules, but then once you do that, you can just, like conjure an entire factory out of thin air. It's really cool. Played bass for the Ziggurats of industry back in high school. Satisfactory having an actual world, more context beyond a blatant excuse makes it seem more satisfactory. Yeah, this style of Satisfactory, the whole, like, well, it almost seems, like, cliche and played out now, but, like, the whole, like, you know, soulless corporation sending you out to shamelessly exploit the planet. I really like the way they do that. And I actually really like where they go with that, too. It kind of surprised me on that count. Still think Subnautica is kind of the GOAT for when I what I want out of survival craft. I mean, as far as survival crafters go, I do think Subnautica is the peak. Subnautica hit just the right balance of everything. And Subnautica doesn't waste your damn time. I think that's a huge problem with survival builders. Is so many of them, they require you to grind up too much stuff, wait too long to build things. Subnautica just feels so perfectly well balanced. Like, you can scrounge junk off the ocean floor for like 5 minutes and have enough materials to build an entire base. And I love that. Absolutely love that. Subnautica is your favorite survival crafters. The more you play Plant Crafter, the more it's just Subnautica without Leviathans. I like making it clean and pretty. Favorite building a Satisfactory or Fallout 4 with sim settlements. Plant Crafter isn't bad. I got to the end before they add the new moons. I put a note out for the Shapes series. If you like factory stuff, Shapes is really something else. I've played Shapes 1 quite a bit, and I like that. I want to get Shapes 2. I'm just too cheap. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I played Return to Moria. I've only played a couple hours. It's going to be my favorite crafting survival. Do I have Return to Moria? I don't. I remind myself what that is. Catch on sale is not worth $30. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Literally reclaiming Moria. Oh, that looks really good. Neato completo. Fallout 4 Sim Settlements 2 is really a good experience. You're okay with modding, I highly recommend it. Liked 70 Days to Die a lot, the most recent build I hate. Too much shit that makes no sense. Huh, weird. It does sound pretty fucking weird. Oh, chat, you're putting survival sims and production line games in my head, and you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that when I have 3 streaming days coming up next week that are just unspoken for. One does not simply caulk into Moria. Some point I want to probably learn how to play Unreal World, because the little I tried is pretty cool as a survival roguelike. It's definitely a heavy wiki up on my phone. I got into Unreal World a long time ago. Actually, back while I was still living in Japan, so almost 20 years ago. Boy, that feels really fucking weird to say out loud. But yeah, I grabbed, like, what, the shareware demo or whatever of Unreal World, and I liked it so much, I put down the money for it. And I put a fair bit of time into it. I got to the point where I could build my own like cabins and stuff. Like I had a proper settlement at one point out in the wilds. It was pretty neat. Wouldn't mind trying Morio with people that lost interest pretty fast yourself. Necesse hit 1.0 if you like Terraria-inspired boss progression games. I played Necesse a little bit. I wasn't quite in the mood for it at the time, but it did look pretty cool. Love the whole setting of Finnish history mixed with the idea of what if all its folklore is true. Yeah, Unreal World has a really cool setting. Cause yeah, all this like weird fanciful stuff is real, but it's not the focus of the game. The focus of the game is the actual like grounded survival mechanics and stuff. So like you're spending way more time like hunting rabbits and avoiding wolves and stuff. It's just there also happens to be like random myth stuff in it that you'll see every once in a while. I don't even remember what all they crammed in that game, but yeah. Unreal World is on Steam now, isn't it? It is, yeah. It's been on Steam for like 10 years. That's funny. Alright. Anyway, chat, I keep getting far away from the magazine. I don't mean to. I'm just a very easily distracted person. Unlimited continues in Pitfall. Why would you want that? Special effects in Mortal Kombat. Here are 2 cool tricks for fans of the now classic Mortal Kombat. I was about to say, we're right on the cusp of MK3 here, so. New pilots for Aero Fighters and some bullshit for Rise of the Robots that nobody cares about. Super Return of the Jedi. Oh, cheat codes. Boy, you need them. Super Return of the Jedi is fucking brutal. Makes sense, the magazine sucks. Finnish myth is wild. The language of Finnish only survived because of the Kalevala. Basically the fancy schmancy Lord of the Rings of ancient Finland. No kidding, that's cool. There is, there's a horror game that I absolutely love. Sorry, getting distracted again. It happens. Unforgiving. Unforgiving and Northern Hymn. This one's Swedish folklore and Nordic mythology, but yeah, this one, it's so fucking good. I'm gonna go ahead and link this to y'all. It's been out for a long time now. It's 8 years old at this point. One of my very first streams on this channel, now that I think about it, was a long first look at Unforgiving and Northern Hymn. I actually finished that game. I was very proud of myself for that because it is fucking harrowing. But it is really, really good. And then that, if I remember correctly, the same developers went on to make Absolov and, right? Angry Demon Studio made, yep, Absolov, End of Gods, which is not as scary, but way more interesting. Which is really, like, yeah, is really, really cool. I didn't realize they made a new game in 2024, and it looks fucking insane. I'm gonna have to check that out at some point. They got conquered consecutively with 3 other Scandinavian powers. They used to clasp hands to sing the Kalevala together traditionally over fire and saunas. Someone who finishes outlawed is the only way to survive. Somewhere that did medieval lit for 2 years. Nice. There's some really good, like Scandinavian games out there, including some really interesting horror ones. Like I remember there was a lo-fi one about a bathhouse or like a sauna It might have just been called Sauna. Out in the middle of nowhere. That was really, really good. It was surprisingly intense. Oh, I love Year Walk. Yeah. Year Walk was... I think Year Walk was one of the first games I ever reviewed, actually. That's a really cool-ass game. So yeah, cheat codes for Return of the Jedi, Dream Teams, and Crazy Balls for FIFA International Soccer. A skip ahead for Tetris. Continue in Adventure Island, and more fun passwords for Wario Blast. Shame Wario Blast isn't a more interesting game on its own. I do like Bomberman's, but Wario Blast, unfortunately, just feels very, very dry and unremarkable. All right, chat, brace yourselves. Shield your eyes. The goggles, they do something. We have a small block of Virtual Boy games here that we gotta get through. Starting with Vertical Force. Take aim against an army of deadly drones. Not exactly the most exciting tagline I've seen. It's also My Summer Car, which is horrific in many ways. Chat, I care about you in lots of ways. I'll murder the person who requests a virtual Chat has been a little conservative with requesting games lately. I don't know if it's a lack of interest in these particular offerings or a desire to like scoot through these current issues and get on to future stuff, but yeah. I mean, Thursday we only played 2 games, and yes, we did already look at this one. It's fine. Tried to play Worm, yes, ages ago. Way, way back. Really interesting game. Interesting mashup of a lot of different genres. Stay long because Nintendo Power repeats itself, yeah. Halloween costume idea, 90s kid wearing the Virtual Boy that takes the Virtual Boy off and has no eyeball. Dude, that sounds awesome. I love it. Alright, archaeologists on the planet Ragnarok have unearthed an ancient starfighter. The strange but powerful craft is the only weapon that can stop an invasion of killer spacecraft. As the world's greatest flying ace, you're asked to fly it. Your mission: save the world. Pretty generic introduction. So yeah, the gimmick of this one, chat. Oh, Arcane. Oh, Arcane. You're gonna see the gimmick for this one, I guess. Well, it won't take long to do. It's a shmup, but it has multiple like vertical layers, and you need to be lined up with enemies to actually hit them. So usually work while you're doing this crap, so I only get about 15 minutes of stream to belittle you in, so I don't make game recommendations. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we don't need to read through this. It's a shmup. There's a Silicon Skull. I mean, that's cool, right? Yeah, let's do it. Washing dishes right now. I'm not caught up with the intricacies of chat. Did you finish games? You ever played the late? Yes, yeah. Actually, the Lakeview dev used to give me keys for their games, but I got really bad about showing them off, and I think they stopped. Which is totally understandable because, like I said, I was really bad about keeping up with them, so. Real quick, before we get into this, because God knows I'm not in any hurry to get into this. So, Rube Tanneman, that's right. Okay, so there's 3 Lakeview games. There's Lakeview Cabin Collection, which I've played a lot of and never actually accomplished anything in. It's kind of funny. Well, I say I played a lot of, played like 3 hours of it. But Lakeview Cabin Collection has a bunch of like slasher movie themed scenarios where you have to try and get through, and they all kind of have different themes and mechanics and stuff. Oh, here, I got this for you. Here. Then there's Lakeview Valley, which is like a kind of open world investigation game. Yeah, they describe it as a murder RPG set in the small town of Lakeview Valley. Become the most popular homeowner, so come to your dark desires. The choice is yours. And then there was a Lakeview Cabin 2, almost exactly 2 years ago. Seems like a similar concept to the first Lakeview Cabin. Different horror-themed scenarios. You have to do different things. So, I might pick it up at some point. But yeah. Anyway, we have to play the Vertical Force. So let's do this. It is so ordained. Lakeview Cabin Collection is one of the many games that I've had in the back of my mind to stream sometime and get y'all to help me actually get through it. Because like I said, I've never finished any of the scenarios in it, much less sussed out any of the secrets in it. And I would really like to. But yeah. There we go. Alright. I'm just child lock on my Steam. It was getting filtered out. Jokes on you. I found Bar Cops. Legacy of the Wizard is a game I played the heck out of. I don't think I ever finished it. Do you remember that one? Loosely? I don't think I played much of it. Unfortunately. Virtual Boy. They break these stages? No, I'm hardcore. Game start. Stage 1. Fly into the background. Okay, where's the... Ah, there it is. Okay. So, there's basically just a button. The gimmick is interesting, but there's a problem with this game. The problem is that it's a shoot 'em up, it's a shmup that is way more horizontal than vertical, and that's really awkward, especially when the sprites are this big on the top layer. Does that be way more obvious job your earliest how widescreen system with the horizontal? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this feels, especially with stuff coming in from directly ahead. This feels like very claustrophobic. Also, apparently I have a little support ship now. Also, it's genuinely really hard to tell which layer things are on. I'm gonna... What's this? It's the title is right below me. It's Virtual Force. It's Vertical Force on the Virtual Boy. See, I didn't even realize I was on that layer at that point. Yeah, I'm having the worst time telling what layer things are on. Because small things look like they're far away, and big things look like they're really close, but that's not how it actually works. Like, those small ships are actually on the upper layer, even though they are small. That power-up was on the upper layer, even though it looks small. I like how Vertical Force is so horizontal. It really is, yeah. It really is. This little option guy I have is like practically a cheat for this game. I'm gonna assume this plays better in actual 3D. But no way to tell without also subjecting ourselves to horrible red ice Rhino vision. And yeah, because of how short the screen is vertically, it's hard to react in time to stuff appearing on your layer. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work, chat. It's a neat concept, but it really just doesn't work that well in practice. Psycho's emulates console with VR headset. That exists an option, and it was better on there. 3D added another issue of making it really fucking distracting to read things. Yeah. I think, like, honestly, shmups should... Oh god, oh god! I got stuck under there. That sucked. Like, I thought you could fly under that, but no, it just kills you. That's so stupid. Can't have 3D, those tubes aren't even parallaxing. This is emulated 3D. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the Virtual Boy in its true glory. It is too much for mortal eyes to behold. And see, this is another thing. It's really distracting to have bullets and stuff on the other layer and remember, like, what can and can't threaten you. Especially when it's monochromatic, you know? Ikaruga can get away with that because it color codes everything. Okay, I've had enough of this. Bored now. It's just not that good of a shmup in practice. I'm sorry. I was like messing around with a lot of games I haven't tried or weird sounding stuff. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bless your shortest attention span for trash. I mean, I don't think I'd be able to do what I do if I didn't. One of these would have just fucking killed me at some point. All right, on to Panic Bomber, which we've also played. Y'all prophesizing now? Also, look at this sad-ass 3D Bomberman. Like, they tried, but come on, man. He's such a simple design. How do you fuck it up that bad? What would happen if you combine Dr. Mario with Bomberman? You might end up with Panic Bomber for Virtual Boy. This action puzzler gives you all the ammunition you'll need to blow away the computer-sized competition. Can you conquer 9 boss opponents, collect 3 medals of power, and bring back the golden statue? Just don't panic. Yeah, it's a stacky puzzler thingy thing. Back then, it took 9 days to render a Bomberman. You know what the problem with the Virtual Boy was? Aside from it burning people's eyeballs out of their head? Like, these were the only kinds of games on it. Like sports and arcadey stuff. You know? The only Mario game on there was Mario Clash, which is basically just a reimagining of Mario Brothers from the arcade. You know? Puzzle, yeah. You got puzzle games and arcade games and sports games. There was nothing with any actual depth, ironically. And I don't know if it was because of skepticism that it wouldn't catch on, or if it was at the behest of Nintendo, who knew that there were literal health risks for playing the Virtual Boy for too long at once, and so they didn't want particularly engrossing games on there. Releasing a color matching puzzler on a system with literally 2 colors is a choice. Making it shape-based is a good idea to adapt it. Wario Land is fun though. We'll see when we get there. I remain skeptical of literally everything on the Virtual Boy. But I just, at this point, it should be clear to everyone involved that the games that really make a system are the ones that beg the greatest like investment from their players, you know? The ones that have the most content, the most depth. You know, the NES had plenty of arcadey and score attack and puzzly games on there, but the big ones, the ones that really made the system, were like RPGs and like really in-depth platformers and stuff. When you're gonna kill your players, well. So yeah, I don't think anything could have saved the Virtual Boy. I think it was a flawed concept. Like beaming oscillating LEDs directly into people's eyeballs to create the illusion of 3D before it was actually technically feasible to do. I don't think there was any salvaging that. But yeah. I do think the fact that there was really no game on the Virtual Boy with any actual depth hurt it tremendously. By this point, the Game Boy's lifespan already... Dude! Oh, you're talking in relative terms, yeah. Yeah, Final Fantasy Legend was surprisingly early on for the Game Boy. What's wrong with shooting a magic eye into your brain? Let's unpack that, shall we? Yeah, because I was gonna be like, in 1995, do you know what's on? Yeah. No, I get you. It's fine. We're good. One Virtual Boy I ever played was using abandoned one in my uncle's attic, and I had such a headache I slept the rest of the trip. No. I have played an actual Virtual Boy. I found couple years ago when I was in Japan, I found a like retro game shop that actually had a demo Virtual Boy set up, and I might have actually played Vertical Force, come to think of it, and it was fine. I mean, you know, I only played it for 10 minutes at most, so not enough time to do any permanent damage. I think the Virtual Boys, I felt like nobody could decide if it was a novelty toy or a game console. Because, I mean, that's basically what I'm saying. Nobody put, like, a games console game on it, you know? Though I can't really imagine what a Virtual Boy RPG would look like. I mean, I guess maybe something like Paper Mario ahead of its time would have been pretty cool. You know, if you could actually stand playing it for more than like 20 minutes at a time. A Virtual On with the double joystick. You ever see one of those in the wild? Yes, I've never tried it though, but I have seen them. Kind of a dungeon crawler adjacent thing in Japan. I think I remember reading about that. We are, chat, I am going to remind you of this. Once the Virtual Boy is dead to Nintendo Power, we are going to do a special roundup of the rest of the games that were released for it and we didn't get to. And also, we're going to take a look at some Virtual Boy homebrews, because there are some absolute fucking sickos out there who have created their own homebrew Virtual Boy games, and I am intensely curious as to what they've come up with in their free time. Yeah, Virtual Boy in the magazine. Once Nintendo Power stops covering the Virtual Boy, I'm going to fill in the gaps myself. I mean, you know, realistically, we're going to see everything, the entire Virtual Boy catalog, except for the Japan exclusives, by way of Nintendo Power. But once Nintendo Power is done, I'll pick up the pieces, and we'll take a look at those homebrews. See, in Japan, I bought some chocolates around, I brandy it. I hate brandy, make my tongue. I'd take him if that were possible through the internet. I love alcoholic candy. It's also a Gundam RPG in Japan. Game fucking sucks. Why do you hate yourself? Have you been here for Master System Odysseys? Is this somehow new to you? Why Nintendo Online foist Virtual Boy upon the world once again instead of, oh, I don't know, GameCube? Easier to emulate, I would assume. I think that's usually the answer to these things. Why easy thing? Why not hard thing when hard thing better? Well, easy thing is easy. Listen. I have a diamond now. You can't get rid of me. If maybe the 3DS didn't have Virtual Boy emulation, if any console would have made sense. Yeah, seriously. Seriously. Nintendo, I do think Nintendo's had a lot of like weird oversights like that. What is there to say about Panic Bomber? Nothing, I don't think. I think we've sat on this page long enough, and I kind of just don't care. I kind of really just don't care. It's a puzzle game. You fill things up, you blow things up. Yada, yada, yada. Let's move. What the fuck? Am I... Chad, there's still like 30 pages left in this issue. And the now playing is here. That's not right. hang on. Okay, for some inexplicable reason, they just jumped the now playing to the middle of the magazine instead of the end. So, we're gonna go through the now playing, and then we're gonna talk about the rest of the games in the magazine. There's 30 pages of ads. They're not there yet. That's we've got I think Nintendo Power started running like normal third-party ads in 1997. Just taking a quick glance at my physical archive over there. I think I stopped subscribing either in 97 or early 98. I think by the time I was reading reviews got moved to the middle. That's because the back were monthly dev interviews. Oh, that's interesting. All right, well, I mean, we're here. Let's do it. NP is caring about linear time. It's meaningless. Oh, what's the point? The Virtual Boy can do that too. All right, All Real Monsters, Viacom News Media. Comic creatures from Nickelodeon star in a Super Ants adventure. Viacom New Media steps into the winner's circle for the second time in the last few months with Real Monsters for the Super NES. Based on the Nickelodeon cartoon of the same name, Monsters stars 3. Yeah, we know all of this, actually. Positives: excellent graphics and sound, good game design with puzzles and action, fun, good for all skill levels, not overly challenging. Minus a slightly loose play control. Kinda. Nintendo Power seems kinda gushy over this one. I'm surprised. I mean, it's a decent enough platformer, but it's not anything special. Dev interviews were legit really cool. I think one of them was when introduced to Breath of Fire. They had one of the dudes behind Breath of Fire 3 and 4 on. Oh, cool. Viacom would be behind this magazine. SCP article where it's a Nintendo Power Now Playing section that is always now. That would be cool, yeah. I believe they own the publishing company doing most magazines at the time. That's an interesting thought. I didn't realize that. Alright, so Disney's Aladdin on Game Boy. We haven't actually gotten to this yet, but we will, I guess. You know, like, honestly, chat, the game blurbs have gotten so dry, so banal. I don't really feel the need to read them anymore. Like, you do not, under any circumstances, have to hand it to Rob and or George, but at least they gave us something to talk about. This is just utterly, utterly boilerplate. It's just a quick synopsis of the game. So, I'm just gonna go to reading the positives and the negatives, frankly. I will skim the blurbs. I'll skim the descriptions to see if there's anything of any value worth reading out loud there, but I don't know. Now Playing's kind of losing that magic, chat. By the time I was reading, Future Media owned them. Really, they were under the same lineup as PC Gamer and Tech Radar. Alright, Disney's Aladdin on Game Boy. Positives: good graphics and sound, good use of Super Game Boy enhanced features, variety of action, minus slow play control. This doesn't look good from that one singular screenshot. And I'm guessing it probably handles pretty badly. Alright, Batman Forever on Super NES. Batman Forever features truly stunning graphics, but they are so detailed they seldom fill the entire screen. The graphics for each area must be downloaded separately into video RAM, resulting in lengthy pauses in the action. The good and the bad doesn't stop there. The fighting design goes beyond most scrolling fighters by requiring players to mix moves and use combos. The AI of the bad guys is also very well done. On the downside, some of the actual play control is awkward. The bat grappling hook requires the use of the start button. Weird and deeply disruptive for those of us playing on emulator. When all is said and done, however, action fans won't want to miss this game. Disagree. Agree to disagree. Excellent graphics, animation, sound, interesting, challenging fighting system for a scrolling fighter. However, poor use of the controller and long access times. When you're talking about a platformer, it really sounds like a double kiss of death. Yeah, a cartridge with load times. Perish the thought. The graphics always have to put in the video RAM. That's kind of how that works. I assume the only reason they're mentioning it here is to, I guess, make it sound like an explanation for the loading times. Like this is something special that this game has to do because it's so like technically complex and visually astounding. But yeah. Batman Forever on Game Boy. That's behind my dumb head right here. Game Boy version of Batman Forever takes a different course than Super NES version Counterpoint because it fucking has to. It's the Game Boy. In place of intensely detailed graphics, the game utilizes simple graphics and animation. Stages follow roughly from the film. They don't match the maps. Fighting follows a similar pattern in that Super NES game. The enemy AI has been simplified. Combat is much less difficult. Some of the actions require absolute precision to score hits or when shooting the grappling hook, which can be frustrating since there are no clues telling you where the action should take place. Probe developed this game along with the Super NES version, but clearly had more success on the 16-bit platform. Fairly good graphics and animation. However, very poor game design, confusing controls, unclear goals, little fighting challenge, no use of Super Game Boy enhanced features. Get the Super NES version instead. Savage, chat. This game has been savaged. It probably deserves it. But damn. Civilization. You control the destiny of mankind in one of the best computer strategy games ever. From Koei. Chat. Question. I wasn't paying attention to PC games when OG Civilization came out. I know Civilization 2 was like a landmark for Civ game. Okay? I know it was a huge damn deal. I know everybody was playing it. I know it spawned a legion of impersonators when the rights got fouled up afterwards. Koei published Civ games. Koei handled the publishing for the console version. Anyway, my question is, was OG Civilization like a huge impact? Was that like a big deal when it came out? And Thomas said it was pretty fair. It was super accessible compared to his... Okay, Shadows, I don't mean to be rude. I'm asking people who are actually alive at the time. I'm asking the people that were there. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I was there for Civ 2. I remember Civ 2 being huge, being front and center at every game store shelf, being mentioned in every gaming magazine, every possible like simulator and 4X being compared to it. Like it was a huge fucking deal. My question is, was OG Civilization anywhere near that kind of impact? It was, yes, but not on the scale of 2. Okay, cool. Cool. Civ 2, we lost our shit. The ageist. Civ really changed strategy games. They pivoted from dusty old war games to arcane rules and beer and pretzels games to what we now know as 4X. Reviewers apparently saw it as important looking at these and won awards for best military and strategy gaming. When did Civ come out? Let's see. 1992, apparently. 1992 overall game of the year from a magazine. It seemed important. Okay. Okay. So maybe 1991, sorry. So maybe not quite as impactful as Civ 2. But still significant impact. Master of Orion was the first time the 4X genre was named. It came just after Civ 1. I was 6 then, so I wouldn't have cared. Yeah, I was 12 in 1995. So Civilization just kind of flew right over my head. When I got more into PC gaming, I think I got big on PC gaming at just the right time for Alpha Centauri. Like, I've never been quite as interested in, like, realistic, like, grounded historical games. I do like some of them very, very much, like the early Total War games. But I've never quite had the same attachment to them as I did, like, sci-fi and fantasy stuff. And Alpha Centauri was, like, in the right place at the right time for me. I fucking loved that game. That was my entry point to 4X's. I was 2 years old. 10 and 95, Kordonoff in girls' games for so long. Yeah. Ariel Khan, 1 or 2 games we got missed. Oh, that is a great victory, yeah. Good call, Shadows. Again, I appreciate your enthusiasm. It's fucking hilarious, but yeah. The adults are talking. I can't. I wouldn't do that to you. Not really. Part of the bundle with the computer my family bought, I got 5 to 6 games, including Civ 1 and Magic Carpet. See, that's cool. Here we go. Okay. Alright. You chill. Go away. My entry was technically Civ 3 as far as actually giving a shit. When I was a kid, my parents got a disc set of Civ 4 plus all expansions. Yeah. Civ 4 was huge. Like, I think... So in the aftermath of Civilization 2 and the big rights kerfluffle, there were a number of, like, pretender sequels to Civilization 2. And I think because of that, I think it may have diluted the reception of Civilization 3, which, in my opinion, was not a terribly good Civ. I have played it, and I didn't like it very much. Civ 4. Civ 4 was the new civilization that everybody was looking for. Game start. Why not? Yeah, Civ 4 is the best civilization that I've played. We're playing on Chieftain because I'm a big baby. I want lots of civilizations. We're gonna be... We're gonna be the ancient French. Napoleon! Okay. Wait, what do you want? What do you want from me? Napoleon. Ha! Fits! I love it! Long, long ago, humankind was divided into many tribes who wandered the earth. France was one of those tribes. One starry night, however, a very strange thing took place.
beautiful goddess appeared before Bubsy Part, the young leader of France. Oh, Bubsy Part, I have a mission for you. Build great cities and cause civilization to flourish throughout the earth. With civilization, the people will live richer lives, and France will rule the world. Is that a promise or a threat? I'll teach you the beginnings of civilization. First, the art of irrigation, which is necessary for the arts of agriculture. Irrigation will allow you to... Okay. Sidebar, chat. For those of you that played Civ 1, was there a mysterious goddess who just handed the foundations of civilization to your ancient ruler? Or is this a Koei invention, right? Okay, cool. I love Japanese games. I love this goofy shit. Like, ancient humans can't figure out how to mine shit out of the ground. We need a fucking deity on high to hand it down to us. You know the intro monologue of Civ 4? Oh, that's a direct remake of 1's. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, y'all have to remember, aside from this, I've never actually played Civ 1 or Civ 2. Civ 3 was technically the first Civilization game I played, and it didn't compare so favorably to Alpha Centauri in my mind. This is accurate. This actually happened to Napoleon. Admittedly, I'd avoid being in a mine as much as possible. It'd take a little god to make me go in one. True enough. Excuse us while we generate the earth. Honestly, giving you Evo the Search for Eden vibes? Yeah. Napoleon of Art. Kind of curious if the Japanese PC 898 version of Civ 1's had this version in the intro. That's a good question. First thing you must do is search out suitable locations for cities and build the first of them. Your capital. Civil sites are rivers, plains, and coastlines, or at some point near a particular natural resource can be exploited. You know, here's fine. We're just gonna go to it. Paris. On to Earth. Funky Town. Montezuma. We can do Funky Town. I'm putting E on the end though, because this is ancient history. Did anyone ever follow suggested city sites in Civ games? I did. They weren't bad. They might not be completely, you know, optimal, but... Funky Town, 4000 BC. Alright, militia, sure. Get to it, Funky Town. Unki Tao. Okay, obviously I should have named it Unki Tao. Unit menu. Move. When did the Neolithic people invent covered wagons? 4000 BC, apparently. But of course, they didn't invent them. That would be insane. Some random white woman descended from the heavens and gave them to them. At this point, you'd probably be best to build roads. When you build roads, your units will be able to move faster and the volume of trade between cities will rise. No, I want to make more cities. Those are kind of the most obvious thing ever. You can't really call that an invention. It's delivered by the beautiful Farrah Fawcett of history. At this point, you'd probably be best to build roads. When you... Shut up! God, no, shut your face. I'm not building roads. I refuse. Fishes! I love the fishes. They're so delicious. Can't imagine trying to play a King's Quest game or something in Japanese as a Japanese person. Hang on. City menu. Okay. So we need a little bit... We really don't want the city radii to overlap. So I need to go a bit further up the coast. I mean, I guess here's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. Orleans? I don't think so. You look like you're trying to build a civilization. Can I help? Orgasm? Not right now, thanks. Need a city name. Detroit. Funky Kong. There we go. Police Quest also runs on Western police logic. That feels like a problem waiting to happen. Yes, build my militias. Malicious. Just acquired your first military unit. Try to move the unit and give it particular orders. Military units can be used to explore, expand territory, attack, defend, and perform other tasks. I want you to go to this that place and do a thing. Discovered tribe of skilled mercenaries. Sweet. They're protective from bandits and enemy attack by defense units of high defensive capability stationed cities in the defense mode. Settlers can be used to construct roads. Alright, I'm gonna have this guy move back down this way. Light Cav can do the exploring. You are going to... Sentry. Ooh. Gold in them there hills. Nice, they can actually move. The Japanese version of King's Quest V was particularly fucked up. They had to force the VGA graphics in 16 color for the PC 98. Ooh. I guess we'll just keep exploring this way. We need another settler, which is not a thing that I can do, apparently. Are y'all talking King's Quest? This really does make me want to play Modern Civ again, chat. Oh, you're playing Civ and chat pivoted, how the fuck would you localize King's Quest? Just another day at the GPG office. This is... Let's play Civ 4? I would really be down for that, honestly. Oh, here we go. Duh. We need another settler, man. How you doing on your prediction? Oh, one more turn on that militia. Okay. Clans have accepted our rule. We've created... Wow! Free city! Dude, free city! What do we call it? Pompeii. Free city. Yeah, we know it's free city. Chariot? We don't need a damn chariot. We need a militia. Chill. Jesus. Oh my god. Wait. Hang on. Where's my... I don't know. Union Century, that's fine. I do want to change you to Settler. Always one thing in every King's Quest game where you're a dead man walking functionally. Yep. I was really hoping to run into another civilization this time, chat. Like, that never happened the last time we played. Okay, we have 2 militias there. Okay, they're working on their settler. Not called Civilizations Audit. Oh, well, excuse me. I'm noticing it's taking longer and longer to process turns. I guess the other civilizations are doing things. Oh, I guess that's the end of that landmass. Jesus Christ, where the hell is everybody? How big is this map? Yeah, honestly, I really want to play a modern civilization just so I don't have to go through so many menus just to move my damn dudes. Just like good at conquering oddish, they were afraid when Bubsy Part appeared. Oh, I should've gone the other way. Whatever. Koei saw what Civ games were doing respected their mechanical bullshit. I like the cut of your jib. Poor mercenaries joined us and they just end up wandering around Archipelago. Gabriel Knight 2 is one of your favorite games of all time. Only Gabriel Knight game I've ever played was the remake of the first one. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was solid. Basic strategy. Series to be divided by at least one, preferably 2 military units of high defense capability. Valor should be captured. Whatever. So, like, we basically have this entire peninsula to ourselves. I don't know what the inland area of this is like, but we got that. So, there is that. I can't find anybody, chat. It's a lonely, lonely world. Defend bullshit zero deaths. A lot of the modern complaining is from the kind of people that think they're entitled to play a game without ever getting a game over screen. Harsh words. Harsh words indeed. I don't have a problem with bullshit deaths. I don't like soft locks or dead man walking. The clans are bandits. We've been attacked. Oh, sweet Jesus. Well, that guy's fucking dead. An emissary from the India wishes to speak with you. Yes! Finally, people! It's Gandhi! The most excellent emperor of India, Gandhi is most deeply grateful for these discussions. Burial is expertise you don't have, isn't it? Want to trade expertise? Who needs burial? Fuck that shit. Yes, we trade. Select one, burial. India take pottery. Okay, cool. We've learned burial. We can build temple. New techno. I couldn't help myself. Your civilization is a joke. We'd be happy to go to war with you. But if you provide us with the wheel expertise, we will spare you. We would teach you nothing. You're a magnificent tribe with a superior civilization. You sign a peace treaty with us. Yeah, this is the Gandhi that I know. All right, let's sign a treaty. We offer our heartfelt thanks for the friendship of the people of France and their illustrious leader, Emperor Bubsy Part. We are most pleased. Okay, chat, frankly, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to meet somebody. Holy crap! Whoa! How did you do that? Holy sweet Jesus. That was wild. Found another tribe of skilled mercenaries. Yeah, I just wanted to meet Gandhi. Yeah, actual badass sentry, yeah. Yeah, sentry is fucking crazy. Alright, Alright, I'm gonna save. This game only has one save slot, by the way, so. think you're on a hill and defending? Quite possibly. Okay, so this map is huge. Pretty huge. Fairly huge, so. I shall retire. 6 citizens, no achievements. Score of 6. Bubsy part of France. Score 6. Huzzah. Alright, chat. Look, straight up, this really makes me want to play Civ. Don't be shocked if that's what we end up doing on Monday. I was honestly, unironically, really enjoying that. Super NES Civilization is good. A bit clunky with the menus, but it's perfectly good. Does it seed a map when you start? You have to pick one. It seeds a map. You also have an option of playing on a set Earth map, but by default, it has you playing on a randomly generated map. Civ 4 has Baba Yetu too? Yes, it does. Civ 4 has one of the best, like, menu screen songs of all time. Oh, man, chat. I don't know if I can resist this now. Y'all show up to stream on Monday and, like, Baba Yetu is just rolling in the background. Like, oh, my God. Oh, I'm really tempted now. I am, oh, chat. I'm not sure I can resist doing this now. No commitments. We're not committing anything, but I'm just saying. That's the wish with the chicken house, yeah. Have you played Civ 5? Yes, I did not enjoy it as much as 6. I have 4, sorry. I played Civ 3, 4, and 5. 3, I played like one time and I did not get into it. 4, I have played an obscene amount of. Just an absolutely ridiculous amount of. But it was all a long time ago. 5, let me check. I have 20 hours in. I swear to God, I don't remember a single one of those hours. And I don't think it has, yeah, I don't think it has my Civ 4 time. Yeah, it doesn't have my Civilization 4 time because it's like the expansions for Civilization 4 are like separate entries. So yeah, I don't actually know how long I've played Civ 4 for. Also, when I originally played Civ 4, it wasn't on my account. It was on a friend's account. Which of the Tropico games have you played? An excellent question. I own Tropico 1 through 4. I've played a significant amount of the original Tropico. I actually rather enjoy it despite its deep flaws. It's actually a pretty easy game once you understand what it expects of you. I have played 3 hours of Tropico 2, Pirate Cove. I would not, under any circumstances, suggest anyone else do the same. It is a terrible, terrible game. I have an hour and a half in Tropico 3. No, sorry, wrong, because Tropico 3 does the same thing. Tropico 3's expansion is treated like a separate game. I have 21 hours of Tropico 3, and I have not played Tropico 4 yet. So. I think Civ 4's Complete Edition is still free to claim on GOG if you have Amazon Prime. Oh, nice. Cool, cool, cool. So, yeah.
I like Tropico 3. Clearly. I played it well, okay. Most of my Tropico time is in the original version, like pre-Steam. So I don't know how much I actually played it. But I still think it's pretty fair to say I played the most Tropico 3. Yeah. Anyway, all right, that was Civilization. All right, their evaluation of Civ. Excellent strategy, great replay value. However, the graphics aren't as sharp as the PC version. The worlds are a bit smaller. The controls take some getting used to. I can't argue with that. I don't think those are significant drawbacks to the game. I think Civ on Super Nintendo is a perfectly cromulent way to experience it. And I enjoyed it. I would honestly be tempted to play more of it. So if I find you can create a farty president, I do too. That was one of my favorite parts of Tropico, is the fact that you could customize your dictator, and it actually had significant impacts on the gameplay. Foreman for real. Honey, I Shrunk the Champ. The once and future champion of the heavyweight slims down to Game Boy size. This is some interesting copy for this. George Foreman lends his name and face to his boxing game from Acclaim, but his talent for knocking out the competition never made the transition. 20 boxers in all compete in exhibitions while 15 duke it out in the tournament mode, but only Big George is the real thing. In the tournament mode, you don't get to fight as Foreman. You'll meet him in the 5th and final round. Good graphics, although the graphics are slow. Very slow play control, no Super Game Boy enhanced features, doesn't feel like real boxing. They are really, seriously, genuinely going to ding every single Game Boy game for not having Super Game Boy enhancement. Except NHL Hockey 95. I'm just glancing over, I noticed they didn't mention it there. Doesn't feel like real boxing on the fucking Game Boy. Yeah, seriously. Come on, man. Madden 96 DMG. I don't know what that means. If you want to take pro football action on the road, nothing delivers better than THQ's Madden 96. Also looks pretty sharp at home on your Super Game Boy. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. Also didn't cure cancer. You can dig it for that. Good play action, true to the Madden series. Custom playbooks, 2-player action on the Super Game Boy. Password. The only minus, tiny on-field characters. Whatever. My favorite DMG. Madden 96 Dungeon Master's Guide. To defeat the kobold, hit it until it runs out of hit points. Orcs are as OP as offensive linemen. I owned a Super Game Boy, and after seeing what Americans had to put up with in this magazine, I fucking hate it. It has, I'm not gonna lie, it has actually colored my opinion of my own Super Game Boy. Mega Man 7. Great graphics and play control, few surprises. Pretty hand-wavy, if you ask me. I feel like there are some definite criticisms you could... I am genuinely surprised. I know Nintendo Power is you know, carrying water for their big publishers. They don't want to piss Capcom off or anything. But I really think they were remiss in not mentioning the zoomed-in perspective. Mega Man 7, what do you expect to be wildly different from the last 6? The thing is, it is, though. Like, everything, like, all the sprites are so much bigger, and it ends up feeling so much more claustrophobic than the NES ones, which, honestly, the NES ones felt perfect. Like, the proportions of the NES screen, the way they were laid out for the old Mega Man games, felt perfect. There was plenty of screen space for, like, big, far-ranging fights, and lots of platforming, and all kinds of cool stuff. Mega Man 7 is too zoomed in. It is too crowded. And I really think Nintendo Power missed a trick here by not mentioning that. So, that surprised me when I got it. So, yeah, just look at that screenshot. Rockman Forte feels better perspective-wise. Shame is only released in Japan on SNES. Yeah, weird they didn't port that, you know? Really weird they didn't bring that over. I mean, I don't remember when Rockman and Forte was. If it was post Mega Man 7, and if Mega Man 7 didn't do particularly well, maybe they thought Rockman Forte wouldn't either. X generally had good screen space for the level of detail. It did, yes. You know what? Real quick. Real quick. Let's do a compare and contrast, just to see. I want to... Hang on. I want to compare Mega Man X and Mega Man 7. Real quick. I want to see what the visual real estate is like here. Actually, this is gonna be kind of hard to. Well, no, we'll make this work. Panic Bomber first and last puzzler for Virtual Boy makes a blast. All right. Bonus round Mega Man X7, never. I hate the X series after 3. Can't do it. God damn, Mega Man X had good music. Crazy good. Judging on openers is a banger. Okay. This feels fine to me. Like, I don't know, how much Mega Man we got here? Roughly the size of my thumb on my monitor. Okay. Now let's boot up Mega Man 7. Dirty Secrets is my first Mega Man game, was 9. To be fair, that game owned. I feel bad that I don't remember it more clearly. Like, I played Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10, and my memories of both those games are hazy and kind of blend together. I remember really liking 9 and burning out on 10. So, I really should replay them. I mean, at this point, I've streamed every Mega Man game 1 through 7. I really just need to slip 8 in there somewhere, which I've never played in my life. And then we can do 9 and 10 just as a matter of course. Mega Man we don't talk about Mega Man DOS. Nobody talks about Mega Man DOS. Okay, shut up. Am I gonna have to sit through the intro? He's so much bigger, dude. He's so much bigger. I can tell just from this. This feels so much more zoomed in. My pleasure, Hildy. Have a good one. Sleep well. We'll see you later. Not really a fan of either because they just discard all the abilities from the games after 2 and only let you use them in the calls for damage by Proto Man. Hurry the fuck up, I don't care. It's a cute sight gag, at least. Get out there. Come on. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Yeah, he's definitely bigger. Just bigger all the way around. Alright, anyway. That's all I need to say. Chat, was the best Mega Man game? Mega Man 5 on Game Boy. And it's not even close. I thought his helmet was collapsible. I know, right? Kind of weird. Isn't it funny talking about the main Mega Man series? Mega Man 1 through 6 all helmets are collapsible if you try hard enough. Isn't it funny that you had like a constant aesthetic, 1 through 6, and then only 7, like 7 has a unique look to it because it was on the Super NES. 8 has a unique look to it because it was on the PlayStation, and then 9 and 10 went back to the classic NES look, and then 11 is its own unique thing. So 7, 8, and 11 look totally different from like all the other games. And 1 through 6, 9, and 10 all have the same visual language to them. And then the X series, 1 through 3 all look the same. 4, what is it? 4 through 6 all look the same. And then 7 is the 3D one? And I can't remember if there was an 8? I don't know. Something like that. 9 and 10 were running on nostalgia, while 7 and 8 were still trying to look forward somehow, you know. And then I guess since the reception to 10 was lukewarm, they tried to look forward again with 11. I really do want to play 11 sometime. Actually, isn't there... No, it's a Warner Brothers publisher sale right now. I keep forgetting to pick up Mega Man 11. I want to. I mean to, and I don't. 7 a little bit, and 8 especially feel like they should have ice physics, like Mega Man skidding around. Too many frames is walk animation. Or not enough. 11's good. I've heard 11's good. I've heard 8's really good, and I haven't brought myself to play it yet. It's not me being stubborn. I mean, now that I've played Mega Man 7, I have no excuse. It's on sale like every other week. Check back later. Will do. Can do. All right, NHL Hockey 95. You may have noticed this is funny. You may have noticed our now playing blooper in the July issue designating NHL Hockey 95 as a Super NES game. The Super Game Boy programming was good, but not quite that good. Good graphics, slow animation, frame rate, slow action play control, no two-player option. Wah, 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 wah. Panic Bomber on Virtual Boy. The first puzzler for Virtual Boy makes a blast. Fun, fast-paced puzzle action. Doesn't make good use of Virtual Boy's 3D capability. PGA Tournament Invitational. Boy, THQ is just cranking them out, huh? Oh, because this is... because this is EA Sports, actually. I always forget that. Good play control, variety, strategic challenge, two-player option, good use of Super Game Boy enhanced features, of course. Simple shot making. Some pretty high praise for a golf game, at least. 9 was the one where they made the box art ugly. Yes, everything about 9 was designed to be a throwback, including the box art. It was meant to be a direct reference to the original Western Mega Man box art. And 10 as well. If I remember correctly, Mega Man 9 and 10 have those funky, fucked up boxes. Yeah. I love it. Okay, hang on. If you haven't seen this before... How's the computer doing?
Did 9 did have box art. Okay, real quick chat. I just want to recap for y'all. Okay, here. So there's the original Western Mega Man box art with weird, awkward, popping a squat Mega Man and his gun. All right. Pistol Man. It's funny. I know. It's so funny. Also, good evening, Drake. Now, good to see you. All right. Hang on a second. Just bring this up. There we go. All right. There's the Mega Man 9 box art. Purposely meant to be shitty and weird. It's not as Mega Man 45 years old with a second mortgage. You've never seen... Oh, dude, yeah. I think they had this... I think they actually used this as a capsule art on Xbox Live Arcade. Because I remember seeing it. Yeah. And then they did it again for 10. Give me one sec. There we go. There's the Mega Man 10 poster, which actually kind of falls in between being like weird and awkward, and also kind of cool. I like he still has the gun despite him also having the Buster. Yeah. Have you seen American Mega Man Tekken? Yes. Yes, I have. Yeah, just casually blasting a robot behind him. Why they made a robot of Bale. It does look sort of Tron-ish, yeah. Star Wars-y Tron, yeah. That's clearly what they were channeling here, so. And yeah, maybe trying a bit too hard. That was kind of the story of Mega Man 10. Like, Mega Man 9 was a wonderful throwback. Mega Man 10 just didn't quite hit the same mark. It's kind of weird. Problem with this one is the artist actually tried. And then... Okay, and then for Mega Man 11, they went back to, like... Yeah, the classic Capcom style. Because you gotta remember, we're talking like the Western, these are like the Western Mega Man boxes. In Japan, Mega Man always had his traditional house style. Going back to the original. Actually, this is kind of interesting. Yeah, I know it's really zoomed in, but it's a comparison shot of the Mega Man from Mega Man 1's box art and Mega Man 11's box art. Actually kind of hitting the same pose. This is bad. The best Mega Man art can be described as effortless trash. Actually, which y'all might not have seen. Yeah, still the same dude. At least in the Japanese version. Have y'all seen the American art for Mega Man 2? I feel like you must have. Because this is another really fucking weird one. You owned it, so yeah. 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 It's basically a biker with a pistol trying to shoot some guy with a boomerang on his head. Yeah, it's not quite as out there as 1, but it also kind of feels like a logical progression from 1. Like they're sticking with the same themes, but they got somebody who could actually draw from this one. And then the Mega Man 3 box art is kind of weird. Because for Mega Man 3, it's like they kind of figured it out. But, like, it was like this weird midpoint. Like, it's like they were trying to get closer to, like, Capcom Japan's house style of Mega Man, but they didn't want to fully commit. So yeah, it's this weird in between, like the Mega Man 1 and 2 box arts and the actual Japanese box art. And gazing upon that Robo Dick, yeah, as he blasts it. So yeah. And then I think by 4 they had merged everything. Almost. Mega Man 4 still has... Yeah, it's still modified from the Japanese one, and it looks... It's again closer. Yeah, you know, I didn't realize this. They kept doing custom Western art all the way through Mega Man 5. And 6. God damn. Huh. US box art for the X games is way more consistently good than the US boxes for the main series, yeah. Yeah, 5 isn't much better. 6 is like, I don't know, like serious business render. So yeah. Okay, anyway, enough of that. Can't decide Western audiences want zany, totally cool cartoon or super realistic man shoot style. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, anyway, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Fighting Edition. Zords fighting one-on-one. Stop the presses. Hide the dog. What will they think of next? Fun characters and some cool, easy to perform moves. A good 2-player game, especially for Power Rangers fans. More fun than you might think. Minuses, the 1-player mode offers no challenge to experienced gamers. I want to learn how to draw so I can draw painted video game box art. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Bring that magic back. Primal Rage. If you have the stomach, Primal Rage has the Happy Meal. Just make sure it isn't you. A great variety of special moves, but some are pretty gross. Minuses. Nintendo spitting fire for once. Graphics nowhere near arcade quality and uneven challenge. I'm really kind of surprised they straight called it out. I mean, it's undeniable. Like, Primal Rage on SNES is butt ugly. It is really, really bad looking. But I really didn't expect Nintendo Power to just come out here and say it. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. The magic of Super Mario World returns in one of the biggest, most beautiful games ever made, Yoshi's Island. They name drop Miyamoto again. I mean, this is all just gonna be fluff. Super graphics and gameplay, excellent play control, tons of variety, special bonus areas, battery backed up memory, minus. Baby Mario's crying may be the most obnoxious sound in the known universe. I don't mind, chat. Sometimes I feel like the crazy one for not caring, but I really don't mind the Baby Mario wailing. I forget where I read that, but I recall some developer in Japan talking about ratings, saying that it was common wisdom in the industry to not offend the Western market. Apparently translates to nobody fucks and everyone kills. That is kind of the Puritan mindset, I think. And then Vertical Force, good sci-fi, precise play control, standard shooter. Nintendo Power is still really bad about reviewing shmups. They're just not impressed by anything. Can we talk about angry US Kirby? Yes, we can. I'm not gonna bring up any because that's a whole episode in and of itself. But yeah, angry US Kirby. God. All right, in the head-to-head, let's see, what's charting hot? Super Mario World 2, obviously. Like, they're contractually obligated to puff that one up. Civilization got half of the editors behind it, so it's good to see some actual acceptance of that. Mega Man 7 and PGA Tournament Invitational got a little love. Wait a minute, they listed PGA Tournament Invitational as a Super NES game here, but it's actually on the Game Boy. Man, they were just making all kinds of fucking mistakes in this shit. I'm very disappointed, chat. Very disappointed. All right, anyway. Moving on. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hang on. Time out. Here's a question. Because the Players Poll contest this month is to be in The Mask 2. Was there a The Mask 2? Oh, Wikipedia actually mentions this. After the success of the original, a sequel film was planned with magazine Nintendo Power offering readers a chance via sweepstakes to win a cameo role in the film. Kerry eventually bailed on the project, forcing Nintendo Power to give the winner of the contest the equivalent value, cash value of the cameo role, which they are legally obligated to post here, which is estimated total value. Well, estimated total value of all prizes is $5,000. So whoever won this one just scored straight up 5,000 bucks. A sequel, Son of the Mask, featuring neither Kerry nor Diaz, instead featuring Jamie Kennedy and Alan Cumming, was eventually released in 2005. It's a critical commercial failure upon release, and the franchise was put on hold indefinitely. Okay, so what role do you at cash equivalent, please? just give me the cash. All right. Yeah, Jim Carrey bailed on the sequel. Yeah. One of the issues I grew up with had them finally give a public apology for this incident. Wow. I mean, it's not Nintendo Power's fault. You know, I don't know how far along this was. Like, they planned it. Which might, okay, if it wasn't in pre-production, then I think we can fault Nintendo Power for it. Apparently, Nintendo called up the kid to explain what had happened. It turned out the person who had to break it to him was the voice of Peach in Mario 64. Alright, so anyway, what they're advertising here, be in The Mask 2. Go to the set of The Mask 2, be an extra in the sequel, get the game, take home the mask for your Super NES game from Black Pearl. Winners, win your own absolutely fucking horrifying mask and the game for your Super Nintendo, or win a t-shirt. Give them a free crew jackets and free SNES games, though. I mean, $5,000 is a big damn deal. So, anyway, whatever. All right, let's talk about more games that we already actually just talked about. Like, what the fuck? Why not? Yeah, 5,000 bucks in 90s money is like $70 million now. Remember when the mask was edgy and shocking to the audience at the time? I know, right? How times have changed. That mask smells like piss and you know it. I'm not gonna read this. It's Aladdin. It's more or less a port of the SNES game. Looks like different level layout. Oh yeah, definitely. Huh, this actually might be a significantly longer game than the Super NES one. So there's stage 1 is the Agrabah Market. Stage 2 is just these random ruins in the desert. Stage 3 looks like it's back in Agrabah. Stage 4 is in the dungeon. But all this is before the Cave of Wonders. And then they don't even bother to talk about the rest of it. So I have no idea how many levels this has. Huh. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, and then we got a big sports feature that I don't think anybody is going to give a single shit about. No wonder there were so many sports games in the Now Playing. Why didn't they put the sports scene where Now Playing is and put the Now Playing back? I don't get it. It's dumb. Whatever. I'm gonna skim this. I really don't care. NBA Tournament Jam on Game Boy. Tiny pixelated basketball mans doing basketball things. Tiny pixelated golfers doing golfing things on your Game Boy. Tiny pixelated football mans doing football things on your Game Boy. Tiny pixelated boxers doing boxing things on your Game Boy. And tiny pixelated hockey mans doing hockey things on your Game Boy. It's all... My god, it's all Game Boy games. Yeah, this month's edition of the Nintendo Power Examiner explores the portable possibilities of the latest games available for the Game Boy. Okay. I made the sports scenes even duller. I know. All Game Boy! Alright. On to Counselor's Corner. Our resident KI expert takes center stage. With the forthcoming release of the arcade hit Killer Instinct for the Super NES, we asked our resident KI expert, Anton Lee, to assist us this month with a few questions regarding the game. Anton's name is familiar to most KI fans. Is he? Is it? Really? He frequently answers KI questions in chat sessions in Nintendo Power's source area on America Online. Keyword NOA. Hot take, the Game Boy wasn't that good for the most part. That is a hot take. I love the Game Boy. Technically speaking, a difficult system to manage. Not being backlit. Simple LCD display. Only 4 shades of gray. But man, developers like squeeze some amazing stuff out of it to the point that I have like a very real and deep and abiding nostalgia for the Game Boy aesthetic. I mean, to the point that I picked up one of these specifically because it's in that same vein. Yeah, there is a very special place in my heart for... I mean, Link's Awakening is my favorite Zelda. I like Link's Awakening more than Link to the Past. Straight up. I love the Final Fantasy Legend games. I really love Final Fantasy Adventure, what we now know is the first Mana game. Yeah, the Game Boy is a very special console to me. Is it a good system? I mean, you can definitely argue it isn't. Technically, it is extremely limited. It sucked down batteries like nobody's business. But there was a lot of good stuff on it. So, and it occupies a very important place in the greater gaming landscape because it was the first handheld gaming console to really take off, you know? And it was a powerhouse. It remained an important part of the gaming landscape for well over a decade.
Most consoles do not last that long. 4 Shades of Grey is summarized Cliff Notes edition. Basically, yeah. Definitely hot take on now is the number of all-timers released on it. Yeah. At least we can agree on that. Oh, I was just gonna say, how do I beat the final boss is Jago? No. It's just, how do I beat the computer Jago? Because Jago is too hard for me. Computer-controlled Jago can quickly knock you out of the game unless you know a killer strategy. Typically, the computer will use a lot of weak, quick attacks and advances that don't leave you room you need for your favorite combination attacks. Play defensively. Push Jago with a series of medium kicks and brush him back with a projectile. Game Boy is still the best-selling console of all time. Good question. No. Not even close. PlayStation 2 is. PlayStation 2 is number 1. Nintendo DS is number 2. The Switch is right behind the DS. And then the combined Game Boy and Game Boy Color come in 4th. There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's still amazing. And I mean, it clearly beat out all the other consoles at the time. PS2 is kind of funny because every few years Sony goes, oh, we learned it sold another 200,000 units. I mean, that system had legs. Might be the most widespread console of all time just because things were practically indestructible. That too, yeah. Mazabot is posting a link. I had PS1 die on me with no prompting. My Game Boy got run over the bike and was still fine. Yeah. Those old brick Game Boys were bricks in a lot of ways. All right. What is a jump-in combo? How to beat the computer Jago? How to execute Thunder's humiliation? How to do a combo breaker? And then Earthbound. Why can't I teleport to Dalam? Actually, you can. Most people forget to scroll down. How to defeat Thunder and Storm. I think I had a pretty easy time with them. And where is a good area to build levels? I didn't really do any grinding when I played Earthbound. Funny. And then Animaniacs on Game Boy. How can I build up more lives? How to get past Studio 2 Bridge? Whatever. Q&A Fast Facts. Madden NFL. Primal Rage. NHL Hockey. Why won't the game fatalities work? Enter the options menu and change the Game Gore setting to Y. Oh, this is weird. How do I complete the game in one-player mode? Enter the options menu. Reset the difficulty level to 10. Double check your Game Gore. So you can only beat the single player in Primal Rage if you max out the difficulty and set Gore to yes. I don't even remember where you fight Thunder and Storm. That's a really good question. Make sure your levels are high enough to survive the Cave of the Pink Cloud. I always carry the Franklin badge so lightning does jack shit. Yeah, that's why I had an easy time with it. I never took the Franklin badge off Paula, so I had my healer all the way through. Pokemon was almost certainly a huge part of the OG Game Boy. Oh God, yes, absolutely. Pokemon was a huge boost. Yeah, we know this song. All right, Power Players Arena, Stunt Race FX, if you can actually fucking play it. Get through all of Novice Mode in 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Aerobiz Supersonic. 61-year-old Dale Small of Alba, Missouri worked his way to the top and finished the game with a revenue of 70. Wait a minute. That's thousands. That's
$74 billion. Holy shit. Oh, zombies ate my neighbors. Oh, they just want to know your high score. Okay, whatever. Scores, NHL 95, Super Street Fighter 2, a bunch of people maxed out the score on that, and then Donkey Kong Country, most bonus statues. That's cute. Good old Zaman. Yeah, I think that might be... That's it, chat. That's it, chat. We made it. We have survived the magazine. I am going to close down requests. We have made it through to the other side. Let's see what's coming up. We're gonna do it. We're gonna finish. Amazing. Well, I mean, this issue had good games in it, but they're good games we saw. How are we still doing Earthworm Jim? Earthworm Jim 2. You can't forget Earthworm Jim 2. Alright, Mortal Kombat 3. We know. Soon the good one will come out in MK Ultimate. One of the best tournament fighters ever is warming up for a scheduled release sometime in October. Be sure to catch the November issue of Power for full coverage. Okay, so MK3 is getting its full coverage next issue. Big question everyone's been asking is, how does Super NES version stand up to the original? The answer is very well indeed. They have to say this! I'm pretty sure in the body of the magazine they said that about Primal Rage, and then snuck in their takedown of it in the now playing. All characters and moves, including animalities, excellent graphics, which look much sharper than MK2, and the codes that give MK3 so much variety. This version could hardly be better. If you've been thinking about buying a PlayStation for Mortal Kombat 3, forget it. Save your money and get the Super NES version. It plays just as well and looks nearly as good. You can literally hear them sweating while they pen this. You can choose your own difficulty as Novice, Master, or Warrior, and the options setting include difficulty levels and a handicap function to even things up. Despite the handicapping, even Warrior level players will find this to be a challenging game when facing the computer. It is Mortal Kombat, so. Time left on Sega and shit on Sony instead, yeah. As you do. The PlayStation got MK4 instead. PlayStation has some crosses to bear. Alright, Earthworm Jim 2. What's so special? Jim's second adventure includes such traditional family fun as alien cow snatching, the snot swing, puppy tossing, races with pigs, bareback rocket riding, and a worm in love. Yes, Jim has fallen hopelessly for Princess What's-Her-Name, and she has fallen witlessly into the feathered clutches of Psy-Crow. Alright, whatever. I'm sure we'll have to play this when it comes up in the magazine. Just gonna set it aside for now. NBA Live 96, great. The WWF arcade game, great. Jack Bros, sure. Mech Warrior 3050. Oh, we get an isometric Mech Warrior game coming up. So that's cool. Mech Warrior 3050. I definitely never played this. Activision's Mech Warrior 3050 for the Super NES was entitled BattleTech while still in development, and the BattleTech universe is still the background for this game. Unlike the previous Mech Warrior 3050 takes place in an overhead view removed from the mech unit. Players control both direction. Oh, yeah, I remember reading about this. I remember reading, like, it is... Did I not... Oh, I turned off the wrong thing. Sorry, we don't do game requests from the Pack Watch. Hate to tell ya. Desert Assault with mechs. No, it's fine. I thought I turned off requests, but I misclicked. So it's not your fault.
You are doing exactly what you are meant to do. I didn't have the back end going. I meant stoked, but I guess stoned works. Shiva's stoned about playing basketball. God, Shiva. Shiva is like the most 90s character design imaginable. I mean, you can't really complain about it when it's in a game where people are getting like their limbs ripped out of their sockets and like their flesh melted off their body, but come on. Zip out. All right, Azza Josh, thanks for coming by. Have a good one. Forearms would be a huge advantage in basketball, yeah. Definitely. So yeah, hopefully MechWarrior 3050 comes up soon. But yeah, I remember reading, like, the controls in it are really interesting, but it's kind of hard to come to grips with because you control the legs and the body of the walker independently, so you can move one way and shoot the other. But like Super NES controllers aren't really designed for like twin sticking. So I'll be interested to see how they made that work. I'm guessing maybe you control the legs with the D-pad and then rotate the turret with the L and R buttons. But yeah. All right, Wildcats coming up. If you're not familiar with Wildcats, this was a pretty popular Image comic series that also got an animated series that I really liked. I never read the comics, but I really like the cartoon. Cats and Wildcats stands for Covert Action Teams. A group of super aliens are trying to save Earth from the ravages of the Daemonites. Based on the comic book, Super NES game from Playmates includes 11 levels of side-scrolling fighting action along the lines of Final Fight or Sonic Blast Man. Player takes on the role of one of 3 Wildcats, Spartan, Maul, or Warblade for different stages of the game. Void helps out with communications and teleports the team as the team closes in on the Hellspawn. Live 96 is the most alright basketball game I've seen. High praise indeed. FIFA 96 Soccer, Emmett Smith Football, NBA Give and Go, Mutant Chronicles, and Doom Troopers. From the role-playing world of the Super NES is not such a great distance as Mutant Chronicles proves. This bloodbath in video game disguise plays in the body of Mitch Hunter or Max Steiner, 2 Doom Troopers. His mission is to clean up the solar system from the presence of Algroth's evil alien forces. Well, I suppose if this actually happens, we'll see it in the magazine. 3050 got an NA release in October 1995. Okay, so hopefully we'll see it in the next issue. Give and Go sounds like it could be in store. It absolutely does, yeah. And we got Spawn coming from Sony Imagesoft and Dirt Tracks FX. Was purchased from Electro Brain. Okay. So I guess Dirt Tracks FX had a really long and winding road to release. So I'm gonna request Doom Troopers so hard since my childhood. All right. And that's it, chat. We made it! We did it! We survived October of 1995. What could be coming up in November? It's Mortal Kombat 3. It's really just Mortal Kombat 3. But also Electronic Arts sports lineup, Secret of Evermore, Spider-Man and Venom Separation Anxiety, Killer Instinct for Game Boy, and Virtual League Baseball. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm trying to remember if there's much else interesting in this issue. I'll be honest, chat. My memories of the magazine are starting to get a little hazy. The clearest memory I have are from the older issues that I have. 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. The ones that I really grew up with, the ones that I came back to again and again. These later ones, I was kind of buying fewer and fewer Super NES games because I
I was getting the big ones. Like this year for Christmas, I got in '95, I got Yoshi's Island and Chrono Trigger for Christmas. Those were my big gets. I got Mega Man. I might have gotten Mega Man 7 for my birthday. That might be how I ended up with that one. So yeah, but from this point on, I wasn't buying like I wasn't getting a ton of Super NES games anymore, and I think I was starting to lean. I wish I could remember when we got our 46. But I was getting more into PC gaming around this time. So yeah, my memories of the magazine itself are starting to fade. Did your parents ever do the whole your birthday close to Christmas so these presents counts for both thing? No. They were adamant about not doing that. So, unfortunately for me, there was about an almost 2-week gap between Christmas and my birthday, so it would have been kind of hard for them to make that case anyway. My poor older daughter, her birthday is 2 days before Christmas. It's 23rd. So we do kind of roll it together, but we do make sure that we're picking like something for Christmas and something for her birthday. So we always made it clear to her, you know, we're not trying to short you here. Aunt hates her birthday for that reason. Your birthday is on December 13th. We also adamantly avoid any of that. Yeah, no, we discussed that like immediately after she was born. We're like, you know, we still need to celebrate her birthday, obviously. So my younger daughter's birthday is coming up in a week, actually. Hers is October 25th. So curious, I know how people are. All right, anyway, chat. We did it. We made it. So this means next week is going to be extra chaotic. Because, well, tomorrow night there is no stream. Because I don't stream on Sundays for any reason whatsoever. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are going to be wildcard nights. I don't know what I'm going to be playing. I have lots of ideas. There's definitely a number of things that I would like to get into. But I'm not going to commit to anything in particular. So if you want to know what we're doing, you're just going to have to show up. And then, since we're done with this issue, I'm probably going to do some kind of request night next Thursday, like I was talking about. I'm gonna ponder my options over the weekend. I may open up submissions for that on Monday, or we might do a spur of the moment thing like we did with the NES request night. I don't know. So buttress your feelings, chat. Oh, Manic, you must have missed when I explained this earlier. I really enjoyed doing that NES request night a couple weeks back, and it seemed like folks really enjoyed it as well. And we don't really need to like zoom from one issue to the next. So I'm thinking about wedging special request nights in, like, taking one night, Thursday or Saturday, between issues to do special request nights. So yeah, so might as well do one next week. So, but like I said, I'll consider our options and what I want to do, what we might want to do, and I'll let you know on Monday what I'm thinking. So that's the plan, chat. That's the plan. Let's go see if anybody's up that I can raid, that I can pass y'all down the line to. Anything going on? Anybody doing? I see some folks. And I am going to send you over to Jerp tonight. Jerp is doing some Player Obscure Expedition 33, which, I mean, I don't need to tell you is an amazing looking game. So let's go hang out with him for a bit and see how he's treating him. So anyway, chat, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thanks for joining me as we polished off October of 1995. It was a magazine. It was an experience. Had some very notable games in it, but Most of them we either played before or are going to play them in the near future. So it was kind of just the Mega Man 7 Power Hour this time, and some other assorted stuff. But it's always fun hanging out and talking about this stuff, reminiscing about the past, getting our history straight. I do enjoy it. So thank you all so much for coming out. Hopefully I will see you on Monday for games. But until then, as always, y'all take care. Bye, everybody.